Every door has a key. There's a key to every situation. Behind every unopened door, there is a mystery. And the opening of this door introduces us to another in the series, The Key.
And this is your room, Mr. Lanning. I hope you'll be comfortable.
I'm sure I will be.
We'll be eating in about an hour. I'll give you a call.
Thank you.
Did Elizabeth tell you our trouble, Mr. Lanning?
Well, something about it.
Do you think you can help us?
Frankly, no, but I'll try.
That's all we ask. We'll see you at dinner.
Sure.
And thanks again
Well, don't thank me yet.
Even an offer of help deserves thanks.
Trouble, trouble, toil, and trouble. Yes?
I'm Donna Weston.
Don't you ever knock?
Often.
This is one time you forgot.
I wanted to surprise you. See the master when his defenses were down.
What might Donna Western be in the scheme of things?
The lady help.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm assisting the Mrs. Frieda and Elizabeth August collate and catalog their many and varied collections ranging from spiders to rare manuscripts, including a room stacked with bones.
Bones.
Bones. You're going to have a wonderful weekend.
Well, I'm sure I'm going to, but what type of bones?
Animal bones. Old animal bones.
Well, I should imagine they would be old if only their bones remain.
Yeah. The reason you've been called in to track down the ghost is that...
Just hold it, will you? Called in to track down what?
Oh, you're tired from your trip, I suppose.
No, I'm not all that tired, but what about a ghost, and what about me having to put salt in its tail?
Well, Mrs. Frieda and Elizabeth have a ghost which is bothering them. And you're the boy who was going to find it. Don't argue. They told me so.
Oh, it must be true. I read it in the papers. Huh?
Something like that.
Well, I think we'd better straighten things out at dinner. I'm no ghost breaker.
They seem to think you are. Look, you do know the old dears, don't you?
I know them.
Well, would you tell me why you think you're here? Not for a pleasant weekend, I hope.
I have something of a reputation as a puzzle expert.
The master.
I had a letter from Frieda saying that something was bothering them. Would I come down here and spend the weekend and help work it out for them?
It's bothering them, all right.
Ghosts.
And ghostly organ music and wailing dogs.
Well, I can hardly wait. When does it start? Midnight?
Oh, no. This ghost is non-union. He works any time, as long as it's a dark night.
Well, I suppose it is a puzzle.
You are so right.
You haven't been frightened off by the manifestation.
It'd take more than a dead cat and a crummy organist to frighten little Donna when she's got a good pitch.
You know, but you've got an odd turn of phrase for a girl who catalogs things.
My father was a bootlegger. I was lucky to get an education. But the background stuck. You know, this is the zaniest household. There must be tens of thousands of dollars worth of junk scattered around. Everything from coins to bones.
And you've got to put it in order?
The old dears are gone with a dying bug. They want everything to be smooth when they go. Leave it to the museum or something, but leave it right. That's the idea.
Tell me, who else is in the house?
Oh, Danny August. He's some kind of offbeat relative. Smooth, very smooth. Got manners he hasn't used. Then there's Avery. He's a death's head.
A what?
A creep.
Look, can't you use ordinary words?
Upbringing.
Well, why is he a death's head?
Upbringing.
Miss Western, I'm tired. Would you mind if I cleaned up a little before dinner?
If you're so dirty, go ahead.
Excuse me.
Avery is a death's head because he wants to marry me. Well, not that he's on his own there, but it's the way he goes about it. I turn a corner, a paw. There's Avery, hanging like the kiss of death. I reach for a cigarette. Avery gets there before me, complete with Virginias and Turkish, lighter and ashtray.
You ought to be flattered.
Avery is tall, thin, bald, and yellow. When he smiles, he looks as if he's opened a vein and is loving it. I should be flattered.
I'm looking forward to meeting him.
With Avery and the ghostly noises, it's a ball from start to finish. You wash your face, it's dirty.
Now, there's an odd girl. There's a very odd girl.
enjoy your meal, Kurt?
Fine. Oh, yes, just fine.
Please.
Where's Elizabeth? She's not ill, I hope.
Well, not really. Just a little poorly, what with all the upset we've had lately. She's not the strongest person, you know.
Elizabeth and Charles Atlas.
Who, dear?
Charles Atlas.
Oh, yes, of course.
Don't you think it's about time you told me about your puzzle?
Yes, I do.
Oh, aren't you going to wait for the rest? Denny wouldn't want to miss anything. And I'm sure Avery could lend some good color to any talk on ghosts.
Well, they're not here, so we'll have to go on without them. I think it's unpardonable of them to miss dinner, what with a guest and all.
Well, let's hear the story.
Basically, it's very simple.
Only basically.
Donna, I can't tell the story if I'm interrupted.
Haven't you some collating to do?
Watch your language. I'm sorry, Miss Frida. You go right on with your tale.
Oh, thank you. Well, it was a couple of weeks ago. I just buried the cat.
That's a sock opening.
And Elizabeth and we were having a cup of tea. We were both very upset about the whole thing.
Why were you burying the cat?
It was Monday night. We always bury cats on Mondays.
Look, if you interrupt again, Donna...
I promise.
I mean, what happened to the cat? How did it die?
Someone poisoned it.
Poisoned? But who?
We don't know.
Oh, and you want me to find out?
Oh, no. I want you to find out why Jeremy keeps playing the organ. See?
Jeremy, yes. Frida, will you tell me something?
Anything.
Now, the cat's name wasn't Jeremy.
Oh, no. Jeremy was the lad who worked for us. He died.
Oh, he died? Well, when did he die, and how did he die?
By drawing a tooth.
Let me see. Oh, it must have been, a long time ago. I'd say it was a long time ago.
Care for a small sherry, Kurt?
How long ago?
Oh, 40 years ago.
40 years. And he's playing the organ now. How did he die, Frida?
In his sleep, poor lad.
Well, I'm glad it was natural.
They found him in the morning, dead in bed. He'd been smothered with a pillow.
Oh, Lord, Sherry.
Who did it?
We never did find out. We really think it was Elizabeth because she wanted to marry him and Father wouldn't let her, and she was terribly upset and said if she couldn't have him, no one would. But it would have created a terrible scandal if we'd mentioned it to anyone, so we arranged for everyone to think he died of a choking fit.
To take a breath.
But now he plays the organ nearly every night, and we can't get him to go away. It's dreadfully embarrassing.
And it's cutting into my 8 hours.
Has anybody seen him playing the organ?
Oh, yes. I have. And so has Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm. But anybody else?
Oh, not me. We don't seem to be on the same plane. I'm mad for the clarinet.
We'd like you to do something about Forrest, Kurt. You're so good at working things out. Could you make him leave us alone?
Well, I'll try. Frida, tell me, what has all this got to do with a cat being killed?
I don't know, dear, but it's only since the cat died that we've heard the organ playing, and while the organ plays, the cat makes dreadful noises, too.
Yeah, it's a real jam session.
And is this likely to happen tonight?
I should think so.
And where's the organ?
What, dear?
I say, where is the organ?
We haven't got an organ, dear.
Now figure that one out. Feeling any better, Mr. Puzzle Man?
Well, I do think Frida's a little off the beam. I don't think she's well.
Huh, you think Frida's lost her marbles. Rather wait till you see Elizabeth.
And I had so much to do this weekend.
Instead, you listen to an organ recital. And we don't have an organ. That's doing it the hard way.
Are you sure you've heard it?
Brownie's honor.
But it must be a recording.
Well, someone's just started a pickup.
There it goes. It's playing, Kirk.
Yeah, so I hear. Now, Frida, tell me this. How can you see somebody playing an organ that doesn't really exist?
Well, it just appears. They're anywhere. 'Anywhere in the house. On the top landing, mostly. There, there it goes. It's playing, Kirk.
Yeah, so I hear. Now, Frida, tell me this. How can you see somebody playing an organ that doesn't really exist?
Well, it just appears. They're anywhere in the house. On the top landing, mostly. Listen to it, Kurt.
He's listening.
It worries me.
Worries you? It's ghastly. And that cat. Oh, this is quite ridiculous.
Yeah. With those few words, he solves the problem.
Tell me, aren't you going to do something, Kurt?
Do something, but what?
I don't know.
When you find Jeremy, tell him for me he's got no musical taste.
Oh, now what?
A scream.
It sounded like Elizabeth. Elizabeth, are you all right? Elizabeth.
Mother McCree, look at her face.
She's all scratched.
Just like...
Yeah, just like a cat scratch. Get water and bandages. And
Yeah.
a shot of brandy. She's out cold.
Elizabeth. Elizabeth. Please, dear, don't die or anything, will you?
She'll be all right. Just sit down.
She's all I've got. Please, don't die, Elizabeth.
She's not going to die.
What's going on here?
Who are you?
Avery, she's going to die.
I'm Kurt Lanning. Miss Elizabeth has had an accident.
Obviously.
Out of the way, Bo Brummel, I'm coming through. Here, this is for you, Miss Frida. Lay it down.
Oh, please don't, Jeremy. I didn't mean to. No, please, please don't.
Darling, will you fix her up as best you can? I'm going to find a doctor.
She'll be all right. Except she's got the screaming horrors.
Well, I've been over this house from top to bottom, and there's not a sign of anything.
Not even a mouth organ.
Yet Elizabeth swears she saw the lone dead Jeremy and that a cat jumped out of his arms and attacked her.
Hard to take, isn't it?
How much money they got, do you know?
Oh, a lot, my friend. It's stacked on its edges.
Wonder who gets it if they die.
You mean when they die? Ah, and now you're playing detective.
I'm thinking. Cat noises and organ recitals from the dead. It's not very good, really.
Yeah, and scratches on Lizzie's face and the murmured words, lay off Jeremy. The said Jeremy being dead these 40 years.
Well, for a start, I don't believe in ghosts. Ghost people or ghost animals.
Hurrah!
So I've got to assume that someone's trying to frighten the wits out of the old lady.
And succeeding very nicely all around.
It couldn't be you.
I haven't the brains, the motive, nor the inclination.
So it's either Avery or the other one.
Denny,
Wonder where he is.
don't look at me. Haven't you forgotten something?
I haven't even remembered anything. I'm trying to puzzle it all out. How do people manage to have music where there's no instrument, cat scratches without a cat?
And the long-dead Jeremy walking the boards. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Mr. Lanning, Elizabeth would like a word with you. She's rather upset, so I wouldn't make it too long.
Oh, thanks. Excuse me.
Go right ahead.
I'd like to ask you some questions later.
He'd like to ask me some questions, would he? Now, isn't that nice of him?
No, he's a puzzle man. Works up the odd and makes it easy, even very clever.
Well, he can be clever somewhere else. I'm not going to allow him to cross-examine me.
Funny, isn't it?
There have been funnier things.
Not in my book. If you ask me, I think someone's trying to drive the old girls mad. Yeah, and he hasn't far to drive, either.
Yes, well, don't look at me when you say that. I might not like them very much, but I've no desire to kill them.
That is a matter of opinion, Avery, my boy. A matter of opinion.
Miss Elizabeth, surely you don't believe all this ghostly business?
When I was a young girl, Mr. Lanning, I fell in love with Jeremy. We had it all planned to be married. It was against my parents' will, of course, but when you're young, you're in love. Things like that are a secondary consideration.
I know that, but what we're trying to do is solve the business of noises and ghosts now, right here and now. They can have no bearing on something that happened 40 years ago. It's impossible.
Now, let me finish my story, please. Please, Elizabeth, don't upset yourself anymore. Go away, Frida. But you know you shouldn't worry. Go away. Oh, very well. But don't blame me if you suffer a relapse. I shan't blame anyone but myself. Some people fuss too much. Where was I?
You and your Jeremy?
Oh, yes, that's right. We intended getting married. Made the date and everything. We were going to elope, but on the morning of the day we'd set out, found him dead. All the life that left him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And when he died, so did I. There was no more sunshine, no more smiles, All the world was a shadow, an ice cold, miserable shadow.
Miss Frida told me
He was murdered. Someone smothered him while he slept.
To stop you from marrying him?
Why else? He was a good boy. He had no enemies. No one with a reason to kill him. Now he's back with me again.
Well, if he's back again as you think...
As I know.
How do you explain the cat attacking you? Would Jeremy arrange a thing like that?
Of course not. But there's another influence in the house trying to keep us apart. Don't you understand, Mr. Lanning? When the cat died, it was Frida who buried it. It was Frida who loved Jeremy. It was Frida who was insanely jealous. Frida who killed Jeremy. I think you've had enough talk for the moment, Elizabeth. No!
I think you should rest some more. Really, I do. I'll look into things for you, so don't worry.
I'd like to talk to you for a moment, Mr. Lanning, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I'll be a moment, Elizabeth. I listened through the door.
Which bears out the old adage.
Elizabeth is a sick girl, Mr. Lanning, and I
Is
want
she
to...
sick because she thinks you're responsible for the trouble she's had and having, or because of the fact?
The fact of Jeremy coming back after so many years has turned her mind. You'll help, won't you?
As much as possible.
Thank you. I'm sure if you can find a way of talking to Jeremy, you can convince him he should leave us alone. It's such a long time ago. Such a long, long time.
How are the Mrs. August?
Resting and nursing in that order.
You going to sit here all night?
I'm waiting for Jeremy.
I see. Well, the very best of luck to you.
Would you care to wait along with me?
Oh, love to, but I'm a growing girl who needs rest. And besides, I don't get along very well with ghosts.
I don't believe there is a ghost. Somewhere in this house, you'll probably find a record player with organ recital and cat noises.
What about Jeremy?
Well, I haven't seen him. You haven't seen him. I think a little atmosphere goes a long way with the old ladies. Once somebody put the idea of Jeremy into their heads, they were all for it. After all, it was the only spark of high adventure in their lives.
Avery or Denny?
Someone who wants to prove the old dear's mad and incompetent to run the estate. They're slightly odd now, so a little help and they could be locked up with no trouble at all.
Yeah. And all you do is find the clues, find the setup, and then find the culprit.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you going to do in your spare time? Hey, and what about the scratches on Lizzie's face?
Oh, they wouldn't be too hard to explain.
Well, I'm waiting.
Well, she could have done it herself, or someone could have made a similar...
Here we go again.
Quiet.
All right, puzzle man. Where does it come from?
What time is it?
It's time I wasn't here. 11 o'clock.
Now, you wait down here. I'm going upstairs.
Oh,
There's
no.
nothing to be afraid of.
You save your breath.
Quickly, please come quickly. She's dying. He's killing her.
Now, you wait here.
I'm right with you.
All right, what is it, Frida?
He's upstairs, Jeremy. He's upstairs in the shadows. He's calling for Elizabeth. He's come to take her from me. Oh, please stop him.
Oh, like Shinbone Alley.
Hurry.
That music's coming from upstairs for sure. Elizabeth, are you... Elizabeth.
You'll not be walking in the shadows anymore, Elizabeth. You'll not live alone in the cold of the earth.
Hey, this is too much. That's Jeremy's voice.
Elizabeth. She's smiling.
Where is the voice coming from? I feel sick.
It's been too long, Elizabeth. Too long in the ice-cold shadows. Now we shall walk in the warmth and in the light.
Please stop her. Stop her.
Not me.
She's getting off the bed. Elizabeth. Elizabeth.
No more shadows, Jeremy. No more loneliness. No more empty years. No more tears.
We'd better follow her.
Not where she's going.
I'll have to stop her. Elizabeth. Please, Elizabeth. Stop. Stop.
No more for this girl. I'm leaving on the first broomstick.
There's a good reason for it, and I'm going to find it. Come on. We'll search this floor from top to bottom, and we'll find a recorder complete with organ music.
Come inside, Elizabeth. You'll catch cold. He's with me, Frida. He's with me again. All around me. Look. Huh? Feel his hand on your face. Oh, no. You're being silly. I can't see him. Reaching out of the night. Look, Frida, look at him. All around us. Stop it. He's going to take us away. Jeremy, we're ready. We're waiting, Jeremy.
Elizabeth, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Are you feeling better?
Much better, thank you. Is Frida, is she all right?
I'm sorry.
Dead.
Her heart gave out.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. Dear, so long together. Such a long time.
The doctor's arranging for a nurse to be with her tonight.
Thank you so much. Very kind, very, very kind. I think I'll have some sleep now. Very kind indeed. Such a shame, such a shame.
How is she?
Oh, she'll be all right.
Good. Well, smart man, we didn't find a record player, we didn't find any loudspeakers, and we didn't find a movie projector. And I'm leaving as soon as I can pack.
Somewhere in this house, there's a reason for this ghostly stuff. Somebody's trying to kill or drive the old girls mad.
He's halfway back to the stable already. Well, I don't know about you, laughing boy, but the place is too hot for me. I'm going.
Doesn't seem to be much point in staying here, I don't suppose. I notified the police. They ought to be here soon. I'm not the best puzzle man, after all. Goodbye, Elizabeth. I'm sorry I couldn't do more to help you. Even the police are stumped. But try not to worry, won't you?
I'll try. I can't think who'd do such a thing to us. The only thing I can think is that I really did hear Jeremy. But that's impossible, isn't it? Goodbye, Donna, and thank you. All gone and left me. Avery frightened, Denny the same, and Frida dead. Frida dead. Taken a long time, Jeremy, a long time. But I told you I'd avenge your death. She gave me a life of misery when it could have been happiness. The foolish Mr. Lanning looking for a puzzle when it's all so simple. Frida killed you. And now Frida is dead. Rest easy, my Jeremy, rest easy now. I must tend the scratches on my face. We have to be clever, haven't we? Poor Mr. Lanning. Looking for a puzzle when it was so simple.
A closing door finishes a story. Next week, another key will open another door to another story. Mystery, romance, or adventure all start when a door is unlocked by the key.